Buongiorno, welcome back to the Italian campaign. And it is now November 1960. Almost forgot how to speak there. And we have a convoy mission that we're going to do first, and then it's time for some refits, because Germany just gave me a lot of new ships that I want to improve. Let's see, what do we have here? 4 DDs versus a single light cruiser, Isis-class, escorting 2 transports. So we've seen these before. They are ridiculously overpriced at 3 billion, and they don't have a lot of armor. But they're still light cruisers, and they've got more firepower than my DDs. Well, heavier firepower, not more in terms of number of shells they can put out, because my DDs are quite well armed actually in the gun department, each mounting 9 5-inch guns. So we could probably outshoot this if we're able to concentrate the firepower and maybe land a couple of lucky torpedo hits. But landing torpedo hits on something as maneuverable as a light cruiser, that is easier said than done. Let's see, I want to have this detach and this join with that one. So 2 small divisions of DDs, a little bit more flexible than a single division. See, the enemy force has been spotted, and I think what I'm gonna do will be the same as I did in the last episode. Hopefully not the same as I did in the very first ambush mission of the last episode, where I lost 4 DDs to an enemy battleship, but the other incident where we aimed torpedoes at the convoy and we're lucky enough to hit an enemy DD escorting them. I think that might be the best bet for hitting that light cruiser too. Torpedoes on. We're getting some torpedoes in the water already. There we go. There go my torps. And these ones as well. They haven't all launched. There we go. Now guns on the light cruiser. Let's try and lure it so that it's in the middle of... There we go. Torpedo hit on the light cruiser. Multiple torpedo hits on the light cruiser. And some of the transports too. So far, so good. Right on. It's doing the thing where it thinks I want one of the divisions to follow the other one. Okay, and that light cruiser is pretty crippled now. So, surrounding it and gunning it down should be possible. And then we're gonna save the transports for last. Insidioso and Freccia already opening up, already landing hits. The enemy light cruiser is not returning fire. Probably because, yeah, angle. It's taking too much flooding damage. So the entire ship is healing over. Oh, it's firing. Coventry. Maybe something like that. Just gotta watch out for her own torpedoes. Although most of them seem to have been blown up and the crew's killed. I don't think, yeah, all the deck launchers are gone. He only has underwater tubes left. And surrendered. And the two transports. Dead. That was nice. I don't think it could have gone any better than that. Alright, now let's do the refits. How many designs did we get? Admiral Hipper class heavy cruisers. I think we got 5 of these. And also a couple of Reinland-class heavy cruisers. Not sure which hull it's based on, but I know these, the Hippers, are based on that huge advanced armor cruiser hull. Which is, it's a pretty good hull actually. And I think I can make something very good on it. The Undina-class light cruisers are... No. They're not the ones I thought they were. These are with the quad 7-inch guns. Ah, no, they're not the good looking ones, but I think I can make them, make them good at least. And Konig Wilhelm class battlecruiser. Let's get to work. And here's why this this hull is so good. It's got a base resistance of, I think it's 101. So with the current configuration, it's at 157. That gives you a minus 75% to gun damage. And plus 138% to slope design, which increases the ricochet chance. So that's quite good. Now, there are a lot of things with how this is built that is just not the greatest. I thought it had the displacement maxed out. I can't change that in a refit, but we can do some other things. First of all, take these 19-inch torpedoes off. Oh, it's got underwater tubes as well. Yeah. AI. Beam. Let's make it a little bit beamier. And a little bit less drafty. Okay. Let's also make it a little bit faster. I don't think I can make this go 35 knots. No. And what I will do is I will give it a... maybe I can make it go 35 knots. With gas turbines. Maybe 32 is okay, is enough. That way I can keep pace with my battlecruisers, well, at least some of the battlecruisers, and the battleships. These 2-inch guns will need to go. What is this? 4.5? 3.2? 4.5, not a bad thing to have on the side here. I think I'm gonna keep those two for now. This has to go though. That is a 6.8-inch gun. Are we gonna keep it? Let's see. 6.8 is listed as a secondary gun here. But a primary gun here. Okay. So I think that's just the mod. Because Naval Arms Race was the same way. It had certain calibers available as secondary guns for light and heavy cruisers in the builder, but in battle they were treated as primary armaments, so you couldn't have them fire at something and have the main guns fire at something else. Are we gonna go with the different secondary tower? That is absolutely huge. Also huge. Reasonably sized. This was what it had. I think I'm gonna go with this one. Advanced Tower 1. I think this is gonna be like a full full rebuild kind of refit. Move that up a little bit. We're gonna go with the best tower. I'll have these here. The 4.5s. Can I just move this tiny inch further back? Yes. And this one too. Okay, secondary guns. But the 5-inch guns are actual secondary guns. So they can go here, and I'm gonna make those 5.9-inch guns. Can I go with 2 of these funnels? I made something similar before. There we go, 300% engine efficiency. Probably more than I need. But okay. So we got 9 11-inch guns as our main armament. Modern 2 armor. I want some better anti-torp. Resistance now up to 162. 164 now. I need increased ammunition. Let's see, okay. It had triple base propellant. I think that's why these never hit as hard as I thought they would. Because the muzzle velocity is just too high. Gonna go standard ratio. Soft cap HE? Probably. Super heavy shells. Tube powder 3. Now we're getting some kind of accuracy here. 49 caliber. 40 kilometer max range. really now. Think I need to shorten them up a little bit. Do I still have... Oh yeah, here they are. Last two 2-inch guns. There shouldn't be any more. Unless I'm missing something? No? No? I don't know why these are even here now. There we go. The game finally registered that I have 4.5-inch guns. Not 2.3s. Let's make these 11.5-inch guns, because they are a little bit bigger than the 11-inch guns I have on some of my other cruisers. Actually, screw that. Let's make them 11.9s. And let's shorten them up. To shorten them up, I need to... well, I can shorten them up like this. I just won't see the actual length. 45 caliber is pretty much perfect. There we go. 5.9. 5.9 inches, that is 150 millimeters. Also 45 caliber. So these are kind of good. They have no armor for some reason. Let's fix that real quick. Okay. And the 11-inch guns, 13 on the side, and the barbette, 5 on the turret tops. I think that's a decent armor scheme for a heavy cruiser. Let's see what more to do here. We're going to keep the stereoscopics at 30,000 meters. Gives me an accuracy of 2.3 and 4.5%. With coincidence, 2.3 and 4.6. Alright, it's the same. There's no actual difference there. At 20,000 it's 6.2 and 10. And 6.4 and 10. I think we're going to go with coincidence rangefinder here. Flashfire chance is 0.4%. Really? With only barbette 2? 1.1. 0.1. Okay. Range is very good. I can actually reduce that, save some weight, and that's still pretty good range. Okay, now for the armor. This is, after all, supposed to be a quite heavy cruiser. Got a bit of a 4-weight offset. That's okay. We can see about that later. 11-inch main belt is certainly possible. What kind of deck penetration are we looking at with these guns even? It's actually pretty decent deck penetration. We're now overweight though. It's just a pity this isn't maxed out. Gonna 22.6 2. Okay, yeah. Electro Hydro is lighter. Gonna remove the radio. Doesn't really do that much for me. 3.5 on the main deck. Go to 3.5 on the fore and aft belts. And probably 10 on the main belt. It's probably good enough. $11 on the conning tower. Okay, so the inner belts. That's equal to 13 on the third inner belt. If I can reduce the main belt, so that should be equal to 15. I think that's quite decent for a heavy cruiser. Having up to 15 inches of effective protection on the Citadel belt. Not for the main deck though. So that's equal to 3. If I can get that equal to 5, then I would be quite happy. But to increase the third belt, I need to increase the other two first, and that's where the weight increase comes from. So we are a little bit overweight. Just a little bit, but we have some decent secondaries here. 5.9s and 4.5s, and some very punchy main guns. Yes. If I turn the range down even more, 21,000 kilometers operational range. That is actually not terrible. I can just move these turrets around a little bit too. Now we're looking at a 12-month refit, which is quite a lot. And I can't even start the actual refit process yet. Because, well, my shipyards are a little bit over capacity. But there we go, and that's what we're looking at currently. Let's up the fore and aft belts too, so they won't get penetrated too easily. And now I just want to add some more to the inner citadel belts. Yes, there we go. It's not going to resist actual battleship heavy caliber guns, but it should be hard to kill in a cruiser fight, especially considering that it has this kind of resistance, minus 80% gun damage. And we also have, let's see, from the beam and draft, We got minus 3.2 gun damage here also, and minus 7.9 gun damage from the draft. Not bad. Of course, there are other negative modifiers at play here too, some of which contradict one another, but that's okay. I think we have a ship here. So these should be, well, whenever they are finally refit, they should be capable cruisers to escort, like the main battleships. And before we go on to the next ship to receive a refit, let's do the customary thumbnail. If only that chimney hadn't been disturbing my my view with its smoke. There we go. I think I've got it now. So now next one, Undina-class light cruiser. And here she is. 23-inch torpedoes. Let's just get rid of those for now. And the underwater tubes as well. Can probably mount some torpedoes back on it during the refit design here. What kind of secondaries do we have? 2.1-inch guns. Away. Go away. There we go. None of that nonsense. Modern Tower 4, that is the best one. Rear Tower 3. No, not 3. 7. I'm blind. I think we're going to keep that one. Funnels. Hang on. Do we miss a torpedo tube? Yeah, we did. Thick funnel 1. Small. No. Thick funnel 3. And a 1 here. It's not terribly fast. There we go. Let's just do 4 and 4. It's not terribly fast, no. It's got a turbo electric engine. I'm tempted to just keep it. We're gonna make it faster though. 39 knots, not possible. The game tells me. Induced boilers. I'm gonna have to go with the gas turbines again. If that's the only way this is possible. 7.1-inch guns. I think we're gonna keep those. I'm certainly gonna move this around a little bit to make it look a little bit prettier. Actually, I don't want to move the towers too much. I want it to still be kind of recognizable as what it used to be. And we're gonna put this square barbette here so it looks like the towers are in fact connected. Oh. I completely missed that little guy. Now, torpedo launchers. Can we fit a couple of quintuple launchers here now. That's why it had that open space originally. So it could actually fit those torpedo launchers. If I go with a different thinner barbette, it says it's wide, but it really isn't. It's more like long. Flip you around. Now, can it fit a triple launcher here? Yes, it can. Quad launcher even? Yes. Not a quintuple. We can do quads. One on each side. Which, yes, that is less weight effective than just having a single quad launcher central line, so it can launch from both directions. But this way, I can launch from one side and then just turn around and launch from the other side. This will need a little bit more range, though, being a light cruiser. Like so. Probably don't need that good barbette protection. I do need a better reloader, though. .24-inch torpedoes. That is my standard. They have to be oxygens. Right, what is the... It had electric. Minus 69% visibility. Range 15.2 kilometers. 41.3 knots. It's only 12 knots slower than the oxygens. Standard 45.9 knots. Fast. Fast torpedoes are not that much faster than oxygens, but they have a lot less range. So I would say definitely not worth it. Also, they're much more visible. So even though they are marginally faster than the oxygen torpedoes, the enemy is going to spot them from further away and have more time to avoid them. So no, not worth it. We're going to go oxygen. Remove the RDF. Coincidence. No depth charges, please, because we're playing with the Dreadnought Improvement Project, and there is no need for any of that. Heavy shells. Triple base? No, thank you. Tube powder. And soft capped. Actually kept ballistic. So they can actually deal with the DDs that have 0.9 inches of armor. Now the gun length is actually baseline. Only 37 caliber. If I increase that by 8%, 39. $40. There we go. And the accuracy is actually not that bad. At 15,000 we got 3.3 and 5.6%. Now then, the armor. And here's where we have a little bit of a problem. Spacious quarters. No. We don't need that. Yeah, the problem is basically there's not that much weight to play with. Let's see, secondary guns. We got 3-inch guns. One here. And put some along the side here. They do add a lot of weight. No question about that. There we go. They do have decent range, actually, so never mind. I want to go with doubles instead of triples. Wait, no, why do I want to do that? There's only 2 tons difference. But is there? Yeah, this weighs 5.9 with 16 tons of ammo. Yeah, there's no point in go with the doubles because the triples are basically the same weight. Just giving me 50% more gun barrels for almost no cost. Alright. All right. Let's see what we can do about the armor, though. 5.5 on the main belt is the maximum. I think I want to go with regular heavy shells. And probably standard ammunition. Lighten up the barbette a bit. Still 0.2% flash fire chance, which is very decent. Increased torpedo... No, we don't need that. We certainly don't need that. Probably don't need that kind of fore and aft belt armor either. Already overweight. We need some kind of armor on the turrets though. And do I really need inner belts on this? No. That should be enough. Because the weight tax, I would need to increase this. To do that, I would also need to increase the first and second belt. And that gets heavy. Now, what to reduce here? I'm almost 1,000 tons overweight. That's not great. Yeah, no, I think we're removing the torpedoes. After all that, just to remove them anyway. Oh well, that's how it goes sometimes. Can I still stick this here? No. It won't quite line up, so... But from a little bit of a distance, it almost doesn't look like there's a gap. Now I can move this in. Tighten up that citadel a little bit. I'd also like to maybe have some 2-inch guns on these wings, but that is just not possible. Not even the single 3-inch guns. Well, it is possible, I mean, but it's it does add some weight. So I'm gonna do it anyway, just to make it look a little bit more complete in a way. Double hull bottom. Resistance is still quite poop on this hull. Go down to Citadel 3 now. Let's keep the Citadel 5. Reduce bulkheads. It was many when I started building it. And crew quarters. Yeah, they can be cramped. I don't think this cruiser is gonna survive a lot of concentrated fire anyway, so probably won't get killed by the crew surrendering, because it will sink before that happens. Yeah, no, there we go. Finished. I'm not gonna sit there and fiddle with the like 0.1 inches of armor here and there just to fill out the last remaining tons. And now then, the Konig Wilhelm class battlecruiser. Okay, it's also not maxed out with displacement. Let's see if we can do something about that. It had minimum, well, not minimum, but reduced beam and draft. Let's see, give it oil 3. And the customary gas turbines. What kind of funnel is this Uber funnel 2? First of all, I'm gonna get rid of this silliness here. .6-inch guns. It's gonna remove all the secondaries and start anew. And look at these guns. Way too much muzzle velocity, so they have no accuracy past 35,000 meters. And even after 20,000 meters, the accuracy is not great. So let's look at towers. What is the primary tower here? I think this is going to be another very comprehensive refit. It already has the best tower. It had the worst funnel, but the best tower. I think you can make these battlecruisers here quite fast. Now, what kind of main guns can you actually put on these? 16 is not possible. That's too bad. So I really wanted 15 is not possible either. Guess we're sticking with the 14s then. What? You can't even put them back here? Anyway. At least I think we can give this quite decent resistance. No, only 125. Why is it so low? Even maxed out with anti-torp 5, that's only 127. Okay. At least it has a lot of armor to begin with. In fact, we're gonna reduce most of this, except for the main belt. 4.5, 6 inches. 4.5 deck. 3. Main deck. 8. Superstructure 6, which is still very thick for a superstructure, but it's not like unreasonably thick. So this the thing with this is gonna be survivability, I think. What's the base length? This 53 caliber. We can shorten those. Now it's actually updating the length, even if I have more than one turret. Do you fit up here now? No? No. Why no fit? Why no fit? I wonder if... No. I know what to do. We're just gonna ignore that barbette, because I can't mount anything bigger than a 14 on it. And this one back here can't even mount that. So we're just gonna ignore it. And we're gonna go with something a little bit more substantial. Too far from previous place. Come on. Why? There was no previous place for that barbette. It didn't exist before. What are you on about now? Well then, we are sticking with the 14s because the game doesn't give me much of a choice. Then again, it is technically a refit, and I'm trying to force the game into just letting me rebuild the entire ship, so it's not too unreasonable, I suppose. So that is the main gun layout. Now, the main guns do need armor. Not 11 inches, 18. Uh, 10 on the turret. 9.8 then is the maximum. And that still leaves me with a lot of displacement left to play with. First of all, I'm going to make it a little bit faster. 35 knots. That still leaves me with a lot of... How fast can I make it? 39 is possible. 41 to keep pace with the Undina-class. Yes, that's also possible. Engine efficiency is not great, but you know, it's not terrible either. What is my flash fire chance? 0.7. But it's gonna get a little bit higher than that now that I add in all of this. No, actually it's only 0.4%. .5%. That's not bad. That's really not bad. And I still have some displacement left to play with, so it's equal to 19 on the last inner belt. It's equal to 6, which is the same as the actual main deck. So I think we're just gonna forego the inner citadel decks, just keep them at 0.1 inches, because 8 on the main deck is already pretty good. And instead just add a little bit more to the citadel belts. So if she finds herself going up against a battleship, she might actually be able to take it. Secondary guns. Doesn't quite fit there. How about a 7-inch? That actually fits there. Now she can also hunt light cruisers. Not a lot of 7-inch guns, but some of them. If I had been allowed to place a main gun barbette here, I would have gone with twin 16s as the main armament and put the secondary gun on that built-in barbette. But alas, I was not allowed to. These 5-inch guns actually fit here. We're just gonna go with 5-inch guns instead of 7s. I mean, it is tempting. Do they still fit if I make them 5.9 inch? No, they don't. Well, this one does. If I do that, then no. If I just make them a 6-inch, no, not at all. But no, we're gonna do this. In fact, go with the 5-inch guns and just put something else in its place here. Oh, the single doesn't fit either. It fits even worse. And the triple don't fit at all. No, wait, these are 6. Damn it. That's the wrong caliber I was looking at. How about the quad? It actually fits. Looks like it was made for it. It looks silly, but it looks like it was actually made to fit there. That is kind of silly, but still impressive looking. And in that case, I want this 8-inch gun here. Okay. We are on to something here. 8-inch gun turret. You don't need that kind of top armor. These 5.9s actually have very decent baseline armor. Let's see, 5.9s, 37 caliber. Need to make them a little bit longer than that. I think 8, 10. That's 45 caliber. With okay accuracy, even out to their max range. The 8-inch turret, 38 caliber. .40 caliber. Yeah, not bad, not bad. There we go. Some more armor for you. Tertiary guns. I cannot fit the 4-inch guns on these wings. I can do 3-inch guns. As anti-aircraft. Ship is now overweight. That's fine. Can probably find something to reduce. Not overweight by that much. Really. There we go. Actually, let's instead reduce the 4.5 belt to 2.5 inches, which is still pretty good. And then up the superstructure armor. There we go. Now, how many of these did I actually get? I think I only got one, but I might have gotten more. And that would, in that case, that would be very nice. Because these would actually be very good at complementing my my existing battlecruiser force. Because I know I have a lot of battlecruisers, but many of them are getting quite old. Like the Donzellas, Bastardas, and the two Perla-class battlecruisers, not to mention the horrible American abomination that I forget the class name of. And if you forgot that I also had an American-built battlecruiser in my fleet, then I don't blame you, because that thing has never seen combat. I got it at the same time as I got the Boyardee, the battleship with the 17-inch guns in the 2nd battleship squadron. But the battlecruiser did not come with a design, so I could never give it a refit. And it was just a terrible design, and it was extremely ugly, so I just stuck it in the invasion fleet, and it's been sitting there ever since. Let's see here. Reinland-class heavy cruiser. Do you have underwater tubes? Yeah, you do. Of course you do. Let's remove those. It's a lot of underwater tubes though. Maybe I should have kept them. No, let's remove the torpedoes first, and then see what we have to work with, which isn't much. It's got 10-inch guns and a 6.4 inch, and the worst main tower. Yeah, I think we're starting from scratch here again. No, wait, it doesn't even fit. If I give it default beam and draft, there it fits. Secondary tower with barbette. I think we're going with the baseline default tower. Funnels, thick funnel, and a not so thick funnel. Now what to do with this design then? Turbo electric? Or just geared turbines too, to make it cheap? I think so. I think that's what we're doing. Gonna make this just affordable. Now, main armament. It had 2 single 10-inch guns. That's kind of useless. What we're gonna do with this? We're actually gonna... Well, the 8-inch guns look like that. Okay. What do the 9-inch guns look like? Okay. How about the 7s? I would essentially turn it into a big light cruiser, and I don't want that. Let's go with 8-inch guns. That's just ugly with those turrets. Let's go with the triples. Ship is overweight. Why are you so heavy? Because you got kind of unnecessary armor where you don't need it. Auto 2 reloading. What kind of accuracy do you have? Not the greatest, but the range ain't bad. Let's go tube powder. Regular heavy shells, but increased ammunition. Increased HE on the main guns for a change. Something like that. Now let's go with semi-ballistic for the AP and incendiary for the HE. Yes. I think that's the ticket. So this is basically gonna slaughter light cruisers and DDs that don't have a lot of armor. It's gonna fill a little niche that none of my current ships do. As such, it don't need that much armor, really. Okay, I guess we're gonna do the the standard thing and give it gas turbines. It's not even that much more expensive. It's just a lot lighter. Okay, what kind of resistance does it even have? 122. It's not so bad. Basically, this should make it quite resistant to any light cruiser or DD guns that we're going up against. And possibly some heavy cruiser guns as well. Yeah, there we go. 41 caliber. If I make them 45s, HE range is 19.4. They got decent accuracy out to their maximum range. That's not terrible. No radio for you. Okay, now on to the secondary guns. The 5-inch guns. Do they fit anywhere? No, they don't. How about the 4-inch guns? We can fit those in a couple of places. Disappointingly not here. If I up the beam by 1%. No? No? Okay then. Okay then. Hang on, if I up the beam and draft by 2% each, they should fit here. No? And the difference between these two towers, not really that great. And because it is narrower, I can fit those 4-inch guns there. There we go. Problem solved. And now we're looking at a pretty decent little heavy cruiser, or basically a medium cruiser, with 8-inch guns. Let's up the diameter. Let's do 4.5. No? Didn't like that. Well, the usual 4.2s, they do work, and at that point I can give them some armor, which is all I was after. In fact, let's give the rest of this boat some armor as well. Make it quite safe from light cruisers. I don't think there are a lot of light cruisers that can deal with this kind of armor. At least not without hitting it with torpedoes. In that case, we can up the anti-torp as well. There we go. Reinland-class heavy cruisers. Basically escort cruisers. That should also be pretty good at hunting down convoys. But probably not that good in a heavy cruiser on heavy cruiser kind of fight. Just because they do not have that kind of penetration. But that's okay. That's what the Admiral Hippers are for. All right, and with that done, we are done with the German refits this time. Next time we're probably gonna fight the Japanese a little bit, because they still have some ships left, and I think the British might too. And I also wanted to sign something something brand new. Might not see a lot of use because we're closely approaching the end of the campaign. Let's see, can you actually see inside of the bridge here? Yes, it is possible. It's empty, but it's there. Needs a rudder and some like brass things. But yeah, I do want to design some new ships from the ground up. I have some ideas. They're partly inspired by comments on my video. There was a request for a new invasion barge, and I think that might be needed. And also, if we're ever going to go up against super battleships like those German ones, with 30 inches of belt armor and almost 20 inches of deck armor, well, we're gonna need some bigger guns. Not even the 19-inch guns of the Dictator class were able to deal with that reliably. So that will be needed. Of course, when the AI likes to build paper ships most of the time, it's probably not going to be necessary. Might not even see use before the campaign is over anyway. But we can pretend. That's a good excuse to have something to build. And that is a fun and enjoyable part of the game after all. One that both I appreciate, and judging by which videos get the most views, I think a lot of you appreciate watching the build process too. Goodbye, and take care.